Livi lakho, livi lami, livi lami, livi lakho. ETACFM, livi lomphakathi.
Tell me what you're doing, girl, tonight. Can we go and catch a little vibe? We can go anywhere that you like. Or can I take you out to a surprise? I know you play hard to get, and that's alright. But tonight, forget about the price. Let me hold your waist today like it's mine. And let my world sink into your eyes. Yeah, I know you wanna dance, but I just wanna do ya. I just wanna woo ya. Show you I'm a suitable per usual. Be my little shooter. Got your couple W's, you don't need a loser. Marching through the storm, you can be my little trooper. Buy you something nice, cause I know designer suit you. You deserve the best on some velvet you can rest on. Keep your heart soft for me, both of them Teflon. Now we bout to eat good at your favorite restaurants. Praying for some more, but we can't forget our blessings. Never lose a bet, that's my favorite lesson. I don't have to deal with a sneak into the restaurant. Tell me what you're doing, girl, tonight. Can we go and catch a little vibe? We could go anywhere that you like. Or can I take you out to a surprise? Tell me what you're doing, girl, tonight. Can we go and catch a little vibe? We could go anywhere that you like. Or can I take you out to a surprise? I know you play hard to get, and that's alright. But tonight, forget about the price. Let me hold your waist today like it's mine. And let my world sink into your eyes. I can choose anywhere to take you, I would take you down. You've been on my list a while, I don't like to chase around. You know I'm a lover, boy, I don't like to stay around. I can show you all the toys, I ain't here to play around. You want me to suit up, get booed up, let's do lunch for two. Oh, shoot enough, I boot up, it's too much for you. King Bears from Bhutan, you too comfortable. Don't get too comfortable, don't get too comfortable. Ay, stars don't shoot every day no more, no way, I ain't never been scared of love. Playing my face at work, turn around with a smirk, oh girl, so scandalous. I know you see my girl right there, you got to see her staring at us. I know that you got plans for us, but I'm just not that man to trust with anything. Cause I fuck up like daily. I done crashed 4 Mercedes, almost lost all my ladies. Women I call my babies, you know y'all all my babies. She only take pics from the side, she really only here for the vibe. Tell me what you doing, girl, tonight. Can we go and catch a little vibe? We can go anywhere that you like. Or can I take you out to a surprise? I know you play hard to get, and that's alright. But tonight, forget about the price. Let me hold your waist today like it's mine. And let my world sink into your eyes.
This evening we have a very, very special guest. This gentleman is a singer, rapper, songwriter, and multi-instrumentalist. I know he plays the trumpet and the violin, and he's a filmmaker as well. This young man is musically gifted, an all-around great guy, grounded, and has a truly bright future ahead of him. He's from the Windy City, the city of Chicago, Illinois, that has birthed superstars like Common, Kanye West, Lupe Fiasco, The Brat, Jennifer Hudson, Chance the Rapper, and a number of others. Someday soon, he too will be considered as great as they are. His name is Elijah LeFlore, and he has honored us enough to share a bit of his time with us. Elijah, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing well in yourself, man. Thanks for having me.
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for honoring us with your time. I'm in studio here with LTD Fresh.
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Oh, it's all good, man.
Elijah, you come from a talented family. How has that shaped your own musical gift?
I think definitely like it it's about that thing about like righteous competition. It just sharpens your skill. Especially like, my brother is super, super talented, songwriter, rapper. My cousins, same all super talented songwriters and rappers and just music makers, man. And that's not even where it just stops with music. But you're talking about writing, you're talking about filmmaking, you're talking about public speaking, uh, all of these things. So it's like it just makes you put in the work and do and put in that time and effort to become the best version of yourself and to become the best version of your craft and sharpen that up. You can never stop learning. You can never stop getting better, in my opinion. So,
And also understand that your mother is a writer. Has that
correct.
played any influence in how you write your music or how you go about your music?
100%, man. My mom, especially when it came to writing, like if you ever meet my mom, man, she's like a stickler on English. So that was one of the things that we always like went at it about. She's like, pronunciate your words. I'm like, Mom, I'm just talking regularly right now. I'm not in a public setting. Um, but just perfecting my pen, man. My mom is an amazing writer, and even poet, man. Like when we were younger, she would just, write poetry, and she's like an amazing teacher, an amazing student. I think those go hand in hand, especially of English. She's a super stickler for English, so it just made us perfect every aspect of our writing, whether it be music or any other variation of writing. Like that's always in the back of my head. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that it's perfected, making sure that what you intend to convey is conveyed.
And since you say your mother is like a strict parent, how did she take it when you told her that you want to pursue music?
Man, I think like growing up, my parents were could be considered strict at first, and over time they just got like, you know, I they got easier over time. I believe that like when you're a parent, like you continue to evolve and you continue to learn and grow, and things that I may not have been able to do when I was younger, like my little sister is able to do now. Like you just, it's almost like they relax a little bit because they're like, okay, we got this.
Yeah.
And when I told her I wanted to do music, of course it was like, you gonna go to school, right? Like, it was probably just looked at as a hobby then, but that was a lesson in myself too, because it's like, okay, if you take something serious, you gotta believe in yourself first. Your parents are always gonna believe in you, but they're gonna also want the best for you. You know what I'm saying? How many people say that they want to do music on a daily basis? Like,
Yeah.
to a parent, that might be, okay, have a plan B. But in my head, I'm like, nah, this is what I want to do. And so I proved to her, and I remember my mom pulling me to the side and be like, you believed in yourself, and I always believe in you, but you have proved to me that you can do this. And that meant the most to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I can also relate to that because also being on radio,
Yeah. It's not easy to convince parents.
Yeah, because
not that
it's
easy.
almost like what exactly are you going to do there?
Yeah, because also with me, I wanted to study something based with art.
Yeah.
So at some point, I took like a gap year trying to find like the proper school. Then my mother was like, "Why don't you study IT?" I was like, "No, I don't want IT. I don't want anything to do with computers. All I want to do is be creative."
Yeah.
So she gave me the chance to. It's okay. Do you?
Until we actually proved ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, until we actually proved ourselves.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
now, Elijah,
And
you
that's the crazy.
what's that?
I said that's the crazy thing to me. It's like literally it's just scary. It's like, oh, okay. You want to do the art? You want to enter into this realm? This is a very crazy industry. I just want to make sure that you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
That's true. That's very
Yeah,
true.
that's very true. Now, Elijah, you are quite possibly the only rapper I've spoken with who can play either the trumpet or the violin, and you happen to play both. How did you get into them?
So when I was I probably was like six or seven when I started playing the violin. It was something, one of those things that my parents put me in for extracurricular activities. And as a child, at certain times I wanted to go out, play football, baseball, basketball with my friends, go explore the neighborhood, and I had violin practice. So after a while, I was like, I kept fighting, like I don't want to do this anymore. So I think maybe like my freshman year of high school, I stopped taking it serious, and so I picked up the trumpet around my freshman and sophomore year for a couple years, and then the last year, I didn't like my teacher. My teachers had got switched out, and this teacher was like super classical driven, and I was just like, dude, I hate this. I hate his style, and so I just like, you know what? I'm putting it down. I regret putting both down because I know that um, once I get back into it, I can just pick it up and it'll be again second nature to me once I get back into it for real. But I hate it because it's like now in the state of music, in the state of the industry, to be a exceptional multi instrumentalist, that will take you so far. It will take you so far. So I'm appreciative of my parents for putting me in getting me into playing the violin and getting me into playing instruments. And I just know now it's like, okay, it's one of those things where I got to get back into it and I got to take it seriously so I can really be one of the best at it.
I was actually about to ask about what about being able to play those instruments. Do you think it gives you an advantage as a rapper over other rappers when it comes to production?
Um, I wouldn't necessarily say it's an advantage, because I think that every artist has their own ear. Like the way they see and hear music or any type of art is different.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think for me, it affects me a little bit more because I hear certain things in music or I want to hear certain things in songs. Like I'm a sucker for keys, I'm a sucker for violins. Like if you when I'm in the studio and we're building and we come across some crazy strings, I love it. I love it. I'm like, yeah, those it. Like every time, those it. Um, I think that it made me listen to music more dynamically. That's one of the things I like about some of my favorite artists. You look at Ye's production.
Hmm.
You look at Stevie Wonder's production, Michael
Yeah.
Jackson's production, Prince. Like the dynamics of their music is crazy. It's crazy, and that's one of the things I love. Like music to me should be an experience. Like I want
Since
to know your story. That's why I love Saba so much, man.
yeah, since you guys were speaking about him playing a trumpet and a violin,
Yeah.
in my head I just got this picture of like, man, this man could be up there with the likes of Masiro and FKG.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know them as well.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to ask is, let's say you go for a performance and you want to try and play some of the instruments which are within your beats live. Would you consider like taking a trumpet and a violin at some point and give it that authentic feel when you perform?
100%. It's one of those things. Like I said, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so like the same way I prepare for my shows now, I'm in the gym. Vocal warm ups. Uh, what I watch and what I eat is the same thing. I'll take to that. When I'm ready to make that a part of the show, I right now I plan on traveling to like Japan because I was in the Suzuki program growing up. So I plan on traveling to these places where these programs originated and training under them for like 2-3 years. Hey, make me the best at this, and this is not gonna just take 3 years, but for me to get on stage and be vulnerable like that and show that part of my life and show that part of like what skills I have to offer, it has to be at a certain level of perfection first in order to do that for me.
Wait, let's just go back a bit. You mentioned the Suzuki program.
Yeah,
What was that about?
So it was a it was an instrument program. So Suzuki, like, of course, you got violas, the
Yeah.
keys, piano, but it's very classical driven. So the Suzuki program was just uh, it was the program of violin that my parents chose for me. My teacher was under that program, and so that's how I kind of got my start playing the violin, being able to read music. And then, of course, as I got older and grew out of that program, for that age group, I started going into orchestras for my school, my middle school, and high school. I kind of just ventured out of it.
Oh,
and,
okay. Because now,
and Japan is very huge with strings.
yeah, there are, but
Yeah.
basically the whole classical
Yeah.
music thing. And now, when you mentioned Suzuki, my first mind, my first thoughts went to cars and bikes.
Same year.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
and I'm thinking that you're probably into bikes or
Yeah.
something. But yeah, anyway, how would you describe your musical taste?
It's very diverse. You know how, like, you meet those people who, like, they're willing to try any type of food.
Yeah, yeah,
That's how music is for me. Like, I can listen to classical if I'm in a mood, listen to country, hip hop, R&B, pop, uh electric. Like, I've always been very diverse in my musical taste. My mother, like, the first music that I was ever introduced to was not hip hop. Like, I didn't, outside of the original, like the original fathers of hip hop,
yeah.
and then, of course, like, you got NWA. Um, I didn't really, my mom didn't really play a lot of hip hop for me. Like, when I first got my introduction, probably in the early 2000s, it was like Hov, Eminem, and then Ye came along, Common, like that for me. But you talking about R&B, pop, uh, rock. Like, my mom listened to everything, country, everything. My dad listened to reggae. I don't know the specific genre, but it would be close to reggaeton. My dad listened to a lot of Cuban-based music.
Okay.
It was an artist by the name of Ibrahim Ferrer. He stands out to me the most. Like, I got songs from him on my playlist now. Like, I listen to everything, man. I don't discriminate my ear at all.
Yeah, I think I need to check out. He said it's Ibrahim who?
His name is Ibrahim Ferrer.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think I might. I think I'll
Yeah,
have to
Cuban artist.
to check him out.
And as a producer, myself, I like how you saying you don't shield yourself from exploring other genres. Because myself, I normally full time with hip hop, but then I find myself doing genres such as R&B, and recently I started doing electro trap, and then there's a South African genre called Amapiano as well. I also dabbled into that. How
Hmm.
would you say, like, your sound will evolve in due time, like mixing it up with other genres as well?
I think that me not being closed minded and shutting myself into a box, it allows not only myself, but it allows my supporters and the people that listen to my music to understand, like, okay, we might get this from him today, but we might also get this other thing from him tomorrow. We might we might get hip hop from him today, or R&B today, and we might get pop and rock tomorrow. I can sit in the studio with a country artist and I'll make a country album. Like, I'm an artist that I thrive in many different environments, and I adapt, and I pride myself in that, because just to be like, yo, I'm only gonna make hip hop. I'm never gonna come outside of writing 16s. I was there at one point and I wasn't happy as an artist. The moment that I accepted the fact that, yo, I got different sounds in my head. Like, I have a different vision every song. I accepted that. So it's like I'm gonna flow with this vision. I'm not gonna force anything. Just because I say I'm a singer don't necessarily mean I gotta do R&B every time. Just because I rap don't mean I gotta rap every time. I'm gonna try different things. I'm gonna explore different ways to do music. I feel like that's how you gonna always stay fresh. That's how you can always grow and evolve in this world of music that we live in.
We asked about your musical taste because we are here today mainly to talk about your album Sunset Radio.
And it's a beautiful album.
It's a beautiful album. It is an incredible album. Please tell us about it.
Thank you, man. So Sunset Radio came about. The body of it, it was inspired by a trip I took with my wife over the summer.
Yeah.
We went from Atlanta to California, and on that trip, man, it's just like I was saying in the interview the other day, from Texas to California is so many beautiful sights to see. Making that drive, and it just inspired me. So the whole time I'm driving like 16 hours every rotation. Um, and so a lot of that time I was spending just listening to the production that I had saved in my BeatStars folder, had saved on YouTube at the time. Um, and I just was building. I was inspired. So I always loved the early 2000 sounds, which is why you get songs like Atmosphere and Bittersweet. And I was like, yo, these are really, like, I like this. This is the type of music that I was listening to when I was younger. I really loved it.
And it is
you
nostalgic.
Think about The Fray, you think about Red Hot Chili Peppers, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Smash Mouth, Third Eye Blind. So many of these, I can go on and on. That's a lot. That's what I listened to a lot as a child. And so that nostalgia came back for me and it inspired me. So when I got off that trip, I came home and I was like, you know what? I'm ready, because I was already working on the album. But the album that I was working on was going to be pretty much a hip hop album. Went into the studio with my boy Ron Marcellus. I'm like, yo, I got, I got this song that I want to do, and it might come off weird. I've never done this before. Do you mind? He was like, bro, get in the booth, record it. And he was like, this is you, bro. This is your sound. This is cold. Not too many people doing this. And that gave me the confidence to keep pushing. And so that's really like, me and bro just worked through this album the whole way. He engineered it, mixed, mastered. Productions on there from Pilot Kid, Grav, Stoic, Cryptic, a bunch of amazing artists who just, man, they put the music out there and I was able to hear it and my ear liked it, and I just built this album telling the story and the evolution of myself, the rebirth of Elijah LeFlore. Like, this is what you are going to get now. I'm going to try new things and I'm going to make music that I want to make. And at that time, I was just in a very colorful mood. And that's where you get Sunset Radio. Like, that was literally, I saw so many beautiful sunsets on that drive. And so when I was trying to figure out what I was going to call it, it just popped in my head and I was like, yeah, that's it.
Just quickly, how long is the drive from Atlanta to Los Angeles? Is that like 16 hours?
No, so that's like so I was going to North Cal, but the ride to California in itself is about 30, I think it's like 32 or 36 hours. And so of course you're gonna break it up. I think we stopped off like 2 times. Yeah.
That's far.
Yeah, that must have been
that's far from where we stayed to Cape Town.
Yeah, that must have been a very, very interesting road trip, and it also you can also tell from the album itself that you spent a lot of time really properly listening to everything that you created to come and create more to make the album what it is today.
Yeah, and another thing that I wanted to ask was, Did you make it intentional that you make your album sound as if you going through like a certain maybe breakup with your lady, then towards the end you guys are fixing things up, or maybe it's just me who picked it up.
No, no, definitely. During the time of making this album, there was a lot going on. So certain songs weren't made through that time. Like Bittersweet was made in California. I wrote that in LA in May of last year. And that originally wasn't gonna make the album. I just ended up recording it one day, and then Ro Marcellus, he really enjoyed it. He was like, "Yo, can I do something on this?" And he freestyled his part, by the way. Like I was amazed. I was like, "Whoa!" But he brought him hopping on the song really brought the song together, and so it made the project. Um, but yeah, a lot of those songs are literally me reflecting on my mess ups, the mistakes, and just being on that journey with somebody, like and in self reflection. I think that's a major part of being on that journey with somebody is accountability on for both parties. And that's just me, expressing myself and where I was at mentally at the time. And then when you get to a song like Second Chance, on the way back from that trip, you got into a really bad accident. And that was just me saying like, yo, I need like this is a second chance for us to rebuild our journey and like try to do this thing right. Um and then also just me like a second chance with myself. Like so the projects to come, it's gonna be a lot focusing on my origin story and what makes me me and just glimpses of who Elijah LeFlore is. And so this project, like I said, was a rebirth and just the introduction of what's to come.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, we don't really have a lot of time left, but just a few more questions. Now, I love the album in general, but my favorite song on there is Someday, but I am disappointed by it because it's only an interlude and it's the shortest but track on the album. Which song would you say is the absolute standout song for you?
I would say the standout song for me would be Bittersweet. That's one of the songs that really took off as a single.
Yeah.
And it meant a lot to me because Bittersweet, most people probably think I'm talking about a woman and I'm not.
Okay.
I'm talking about myself as a child and the disappointment of my adolescent self and myself in adulthood and some of those promises that I broke to myself. And the next one that means a lot to me on that song, literally, like Someday, that's why it's an interlude because that's almost a reflecting track. Like that's me kind of projecting the future and the future of me looking back on my life. Like, yeah, we kind of started out a little bit rocky, but we got it. And, I discovered love. I discovered great friendships. I discovered self-care and just basically overall bettering myself and evolving and getting better over the time.
Yeah, for me, it has to be Satan Blue.
Certain Blue.
Yeah, because I've been playing the album, playing it till I got to that song. Immediately when the song ended, I had to repeat it same time. I don't know how many times I repeated that song because it's just a vibe.
Yeah, it is a beautiful song as well. Elijah, unfortunately, we are out of time. We're actually over time now. But it was lovely talking to you, and
It was an honor.
Yeah, it is an honor talking to you, and we are looking forward to hearing from you again. Now, please tell us how people can get in touch with you and how they can get your music.
So I'm on all streaming services, man. Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, any major DSPs, I'm on there. Twitter, you can follow me at Elijah LeFlore. Instagram, Elijah LeFlore. Uh, anything is Elijah LeFlore. Basically, it's very simple. Reach out to me, hit me up on Instagram, Twitter. We can chop it up anytime. I love all of my fans and supporters. I consider you all family. So, man, thank you for this opportunity to come on the show. And yeah, man, we got some big things coming this year, so stay tuned for sure.
Yeah, before you go, I just want to ask you this question. Since most of the time I ask like artists from overseas, which South African artists have you listened to if there's any.
Oh, it's plenty. What's crazy is I don't always, because I have my radio playing, so I don't always know the artist's name, but definitely Kid, Burna Boy, Joe Boy. It's Tim's is from Africa as well, right?
Yeah, Tim's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Tim's, and it's a bunch more, but I would literally have to go down the playlist to get the names.
All right.
All
But
right.
I love, yeah.
Yeah, all right, Elijah. It's been a wonderful time talking to you, and I'm looking forward to we both are looking forward to talking to you some more in the near future. But we wish you all the best, man. We wish you all the best with your music,
and more projects,
and we hope one day we see you on the Grammy stage or whatever other stages that you wish to be on, and we'll be behind you, man, cheering you on.
Man, blessings, man. Likewise, and thank you all for letting me come on the show, man.
It's an honor.
It's an honor, man. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day further. I understand it's still like just after 3 p.m. with you guys.
It's the afternoon there now.
Yeah, it's in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So we are almost out of here.
Yeah.
But you still but you still got a full day ahead of you. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your day, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed, man. Thank you.
All right, that was Elijah LeFlore, all the way from Chicago, Illinois. And here is another one of his singles, Atmosphere. Enjoy.
Your love is the sweetest. Your touch makes me feel so good. Your words cut the deepest. Your talks make me feel like I could. You might be I wear my heart on my sleeve, not my hood. With all my colors bleeding, you were able to see who I was. I know you learn and trust. I know you're insecure. I know you're right for us. If I make you feel adored, I'll wrap you in my arms. I'll never let you go. Just the two of us, facing both our lows, facing both our lows. Facing both our lows, facing both our lows. Your love is the sweetest. Your touch makes me feel